Remember those idyllic scenes out of your childhood? Crisp winter nights, star bright, sleigh bells, crackling Yule logs, candlelight glistening off of shimmering Christmas trees, chestnuts roasting over open fires, carolers beneath snow-covered window ledges. Remember those. Remember them well. After Black Christmas, they'll never be the same again. Black Christmas, starring Olivia Hussey, Keir Dullea, Margot Kidder, and starring John Saxon as Lieutenant Fuller. If this movie doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight.
On September 2nd, a death occurred at 23871 Via Astuto. This set off a series of strange paranormal events, which have continued to this day and have been recorded on audio tape. I was the person who was most terrorized by these events, but anyone who entered this house experienced these same strange experiences. People asked me if there was someone living in the attic, in the closets. The people that entered into the house were in the backyard, were looking through the doors. Every single person who entered this house had the same experiences. Will these continue? About 12 o'clock, the witching. I was practicing my guitar. I was completely alone in this house. The doors were sealed, windows shut. No one could possibly have entered. No one was hiding, I had already checked. I dozed off or nodded off for a little bit, but I was taping my performance, which was not my playing. It sounded atrocious, and I play guitar quite well, which I will include. Suddenly, two shapes entered the room. They both began speaking, predominantly the male. I told them in the tape to get the fuck out. I remember saying this to them. When I awoke, I noticed I was taping my playing. When I turned the tape off and listened to it, I was horrified what I had heard. You could clearly hear one voice going over mine. I've never been so terrified in my life. I didn't think I would get out of the house alive. I ran straight to the Motel 6 and stayed there for 3 weeks. I was afraid to ever enter that house again, but had to for financial reasons. The events continued until 6 weeks ago. On my YouTube site, which is under several different names, Kenneth Laffler, Advanced Graphic Imagery, and also Andrew West, which I had to change my name to because of these events. I've done a lot of shows debunking the paranormal. I don't believe in them. I think it's nonsense. I've done shows on the Key Mill, which is the 7th most haunted site in the United States, Naval Academy in Lake Elsinore, the Old Country Club, the hotel next to it, all of which have had paranormal activity and are highly considered paranormal areas. The only area that I have experienced this was at the Key Mill, and it still was nothing compared to what I experienced at 23871 Via Astuto at the Colony in Murrieta, which is an exclusive retirement community for very wealthy old people. These people were very vicious there. I don't know if the negative energy attracted this or not. My mother's death on September 2nd seemed to trigger this. Suddenly, these type of events began to happen more frequently. By the end of the first year of living there, they were on almost a daily basis, at least every 3 days. Everyone who entered that house had some sort of experience in that house, a feeling of a presence, seeing people, seeing objects that were, I wouldn't say moving, seeing things move, people in the backyard, people looking through the window, people coming down the hallway, hearing voices in the living room, all at times when this house was completely locked tight. About a year ago, I was sleeping in the side room during the day. Suddenly someone entered the room. They grabbed a pillow and stood over me, and I stood there horrified looking at them, while they tried to suffocate me. This happened about 4 times. They entered the room and left, and then entered again. The person was wearing a pair of goggles. 2 years before, I had lost a pair of swimming goggles and hadn't seen them ever since. When I came to, terrified and in a cold sweat, the goggles were sitting there on my desk. Another time, a sudden fear came over me. I can't explain it. And I was preparing to leave the house. When I called to get the number of the local hotel, which was Motel 6, I typed it into Google. It came up Motel 6 Feet Under. This is just one of the events that went on in that house. One time I had a fire going in the fireplace. It blew all the glass out of it for no reason, and I didn't have the fire on at a hot temperature. This went on constantly, and I was terrorized the entire time. I would see a red light in the hallway and envision somebody coming down the hall. At least every 3 days or so, I would wake up and somebody would be sitting on the side of the bed talking to me. This happened all the time. I was afraid to tell anyone until I recorded that audio tape. This was almost a daily occurrence. One time, I even got up and got them a glass of orange juice. Another time, I threw them out and took the chair that they were sitting in and put it on the porch. When I woke up, I thought I had been dreaming. The chair was out on the porch. I'm not sure why, but every several nights, or every other few nights, I would be all of a sudden overcome by a feeling of terror. I can't explain it. I would become absolutely terrified and shaking that somebody was here. Somebody was there coming down that hallway, and it would light up with a red light, and I would see a shadow standing there coming down it. This happened all the time. People would constantly see someone staring in through our sliding glass window in that room. In the area that I was standing with the candle, I would constantly see the shape of an old man. People saw him all the time. I wasn't the only person. My friend would pull up to the house and would see him standing there at the doorway and would ask me if I had been standing there. When I told them that I had been at the store, they were shocked. I would see him standing there stooped over all the time. As I've said, I do not believe in the paranormal and never have. I don't know if I will now. I'm still dubious. But after my experiences, I feel there's something to it. Anyone interested in doing investigations into the paranormal may contact me. My name is Kenneth Laffler, and I also go by Andrew West professionally. I will be glad to answer any questions on the events that went on at 23871 Via Astuto in the Colony, a prestigious retirement community in Murrieta. Thank you very much for viewing this. This is the recording I made on that night, playing the guitar. I had dozed off while playing, if you can believe that. When I woke up, as I said, this is what was on the recording. I've included it. I'll let you be the judge. Here it is. Once again, thank you for viewing. My name is Andrew. Fuck out. My phone. Fucking.